Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today with our August Quilting Life Planner and Workbook workshop. So I just have been filming these videos at the beginning of each month. On the first Monday, we share kind of what is in the section for that month and some tips and tricks, and actually also just some thoughts on planning in general. I've also been answering a few viewer questions and just sharing a bit more each month to help you really get the most out of your planner. So let's get started. Okay, first I had a question from one viewer who wondered about where she could find the planner, and she mentioned that she doesn't do Etsy or eBay, and she asked if it was available at Fat Quarter Shop. I just checked this morning and it shows that they are out of stock. I know they have had them in the past. There is a little email button that it says notify me when it's in stock, but you can also order from Amazon. I checked, they are in stock there. And also you can order directly from my publisher, Martingale, and we'll put a link for that in the description as well, so you can actually order directly from the publisher. Another option is, because it is printed by Martingale, who prints and publishes all kinds of quilting books, you can ask your local quilt shop to place an order for you, and they would be able to get that book for you and just get it right into their shop if you have a local shop. One more thing too, it does come shrink wrapped in plastic to protect the spiral binding, and so they are usually non-returnable, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, there are lots of buying options for the planner. And I did recently also get a list from Martin. I occasionally get emails from people in Canada who are looking for these books, and I reached out to my publisher and they did send me a list of shops in Canada that are selling Martingale books that might work. So if you are from Canada, you can email me and I'll just ship that list off to you. Okay, we had another comment that was actually about the Friction pens that I mentioned last time. And they wanted to let everyone know, and this is so true, that when you're traveling with those pens and maybe you've got them in your checked luggage, it gets very cold. So if you've used the pen to write on your fabric and your fabric is there, the lines might come back. So that is a good point to remember, because the cold does draw that ink, make it visible on the surface of your fabric. So just a thought about that. And then also a comment about the yellow clover chalk, that it does not come out. And I was really happy to hear that, because it's good to know. I've only used the white clover chalk, so it was really, really good to get that message so that I don't make that mistake, and also for all of you. I think we're going to go to a down shot now. I have another question from another reader, and so I'll just kind of show some of the pages to answer that question and then get into what we're working with for this month. Okay, before I jump right into our August pages, I just wanted to do one more viewer question, and I'm actually going to read it and then show you some of the pages so that I can answer the question. And this is from Sandy, and she said, thanks for all the great info. Do you just cross out the fabrics that you have used and add in new fabrics on the list located on page 35? I'm also struggling to figure out where to put pre-orders. Do you keep the fat quarter bundles or other pre-cuts together with any yardage that accompanies it? After 2 stressful and busy months, I am so ready to get back on track. And Sandy, I love your question. I'm actually going to kind of go from the last one to the first one. Do I keep fat quarter bundles and other pre-cuts together with the yardage that accompany it? I generally don't, just because of my storage system in my sewing room. I keep pre-cuts separate from my yardage, but whatever works for you is what I would suggest with that. And then the other 2 questions, where to put the pre-orders, because that's a great thing. You want, a lot of people are doing pre-orders now because of all the shipping issues, but you don't want to forget about what you've pre-ordered, and some of them are taking 6 or 7 months to ship. So I'm going to give you a couple suggestions for that, and then also talk about the list on page 35 so that everyone knows what she's talking about. And so page 35 is actually a large cut of fabric inventory, and there is space for what the fabric is for, how much you have, and where you're storing it. And there are, you know, quite a bit of spaces, but like Sandy said, if you've used it, the first tip I could recommend is you can get those white Avery address labels and put them over here, and I think it's about like a 1 inch by 3 inch would work right here, and just rewrite over. There are also quite a lot of pages that maybe people don't always use everything, and so you could double up on some of those things and use them. I'm actually thinking of the wish list. So I've used my wish list actually for project ideas, but you could also use this page to write more fabric down if you don't have another. And then there's another page I thought of kind of at the back, this top tips you want to remember. You could use that. It's just got lines, so you could also use that for keeping track of fabric. And then also your book must-have list. There's actually this second page over here where you could actually use it to record more fabric. So just a couple of options if you want to, you know, a lot of the pages are very easy to repurpose for other topics. And the page number on that last one, the tips page, was 107, and the book list page that is pretty blank is 111. Okay, so August calendar, and I'm really so excited about how this worked out for August, because when I was trying to decide the order to put everything in, I really took a lot of time trying to figure out a good order, and it has just really been helpful for me because this is actually where I'm at right now. So I'm just going to read one little thing from the August calendar page. If you frequently freshen up your home by changing quilts, pillows, runners, and other decor, keeping a list of what you've made and where you store those items can help them from falling out of sight and out of mind. It's also handy to include where you most frequently display the pieces. And when it's time to plan for a new decor item, you can just refer to this list and determine what you have, what you don't have. And you know, this is so true, and it happened to me this year when I got ready to set out my 4th of July decor. I needed a couple things that I didn't have. So I just wanted to show what these pages are. So there's a place to write the decor item, the storage location, and the placement. And so for instance, right here, this might be 4th of July table runner. You keep it in the spare bedroom closet, and you place it on the dining room table. So that's kind of what I intended with this, because, and you know, sometimes I switch things out different years, and so that's why I wanted to have extra lines here, because I will sometimes put, it looks good in this location and it looks good in this location. If it's a table runner, maybe it fits 2 different places that you have. So you could put both of those to give yourself an idea. The other thing you can also do is you could actually use each one of these boxes for 3 or 4 different items. So if you have a lot of decor and quilted items, and it's not just table runners, it could be pillows, wall hangings, anything like that. But there are lots of lines if you want to use more than one in each box. And so these can be seasonal or not seasonal. And there are actually, you know, another page for that. And then what this page is on page 61 is this is project ideas. So when you get everything out and you decorate for a season and you think, oh, I really need some placemats, or I really would like to have a pillow for that couch to match the quilt that maybe is in that room or whatever. This is a place for you to just note all of those ideas that you come up with. And so again, so that's on page 61. And this is really all we have for August. And I think that was intentional too. A lot of people are taking that last little vacation, but again, the fall is just around the corner and the holidays will be upon us. And so now's really a great time to just kind of think about your quilted decor and small quilts. And additionally, I just wanted to mention too, you can, if you don't make table runners or placemats or pillows, use this for your quilts. It can be quilts and decor items. So just a really great place to inventory what you have and more ideas. Okay, before we finish, I have had a couple of requests. A lot of times people see me with this little notebook and I use it. It's kind of like a journal for me. But it's not really a journal, and I don't really do that dot journaling that a lot of people get so good at. And I've also heard of a lot of different people that have kind of like a separate notebook along with their planner for recording things. I recently found out there's actually a name for this. It's called a commonplace book. And apparently a lot of people throughout history have had a commonplace book where they kept notes of sorts. Mine is just available from Amazon. I never know how to say this, but I think it's Luke Term 1917 is the model number. We can put up a link in the description. Okay, so the sticker is from Fancy That Design House, and she had some fabric with this in it, and I just put the sticker on. I thought it was cute. But I'm just going to open up the book and show you a couple of the pages so you can kind of get an idea of what I have in here. And I marked them so they'll be easier to see. Sometimes I'll have this in here. I'll just show you this one page. This was just an idea I got. I'm pretty sure I got it from the Lazy Genius podcast. She was talking about her senior review or seasonal or monthly review. And so I'll just kind of take notes, name what matters, organize what matters, troubleshoot, rules, schedule things, plan, review. So sometimes I just put notes from projects. Sometimes I put what I did, and as far as this is just way back in January, just simple things like I went to church, or I did videos, or I did cleaning in my storage closet. I mean, it's really random what ends up in here. Okay, so again, this is just some more notes from a podcast I listened to from Cal Newport. I wrote the episode number down. Sometimes I forget to do that, but I wrote the episode number down so I can go back and listen to it if I want. Just really a lot of organizational things that I don't want to put in my planner that is, going to get thrown away at the end of the year, because I'll show you a couple things. Oh, and here's some more notes from a book I was reading. It was called I Didn't Do the Thing Today, and I put page numbers and notes. Just really quickly, one more page I'm going to show you is just kind of my weekly planning notes and just kind of what I do. I list my finishes. I review my uncompleted tasks and decide if I'm going to move them to another day, delegate, or delete. I review my master list, and I do this for work and for quilting and for home and for personal and for family. And so I just kind of have some of these notes in here. And what I really like about this book is that the pages are numbered, and there's a little table of contents section at the beginning where you can write down the page and what is there. And I actually started this book in August of 2020, so I might finish it this year. We'll see. But it's just been a really great way for me to just keep those notes that I don't want to get thrown away at the end of the year when I'm done with a calendar or planner. So hopefully that is helpful to some of you. I've really enjoyed just having this small book alongside with my planner. Okay, so that's it for our August planner, Quilting Life Planner and Workbook workshop. We will be back on the first Monday in September, which I believe is Labor Day, so it's a holiday. but we'll go ahead and post that video on that day anyway and give you tips for that month. If you're enjoying this, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.